All right, everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Joey here today with Big TJ, and we are going to talk about Godzilla versus Kong. Our thoughts, our feelings, how it's doing, what we think is going from here, the things they did well, the things they did not do well. But first of all, Big TJ, how are you, sir?
I'm blessed and highly favored, man. Smiling today in a good headspace and glad to be on with you, my guy.
It's good to be on with you. So we have both seen Godzilla versus Kong. I wanted to go see it in the theaters. I didn't, but I ended up watching it on HBO Max. Had a lot of initial thoughts, but heard this weekend from someone on a podcast I listened to say it hits differently and it hits better if it's seen on a theater screen. This is
I
a
believe.
this is a theater movie that, because of everything that's been going on, forced into a different platform at the same time as a theater. But I don't think it's a mistake to say most people saw this on HBO Max. But they say it hits differently. What your overall thoughts? We can get into the minutia after that. What are your overall thoughts?
So no, just to the point that you made, I think that it would have definitely hit differently had I saw it in theaters. Just with the overall thing, and I know we'll get into that, but overall thoughts of the film. Um, Not giving it a grade yet because I don't want to, give away the cow, but I can say it was a movie. There are some productions that are put together. They aren't put together in a way that flows, so it's kind of choppy. But overall, I can say it was a movie. It had its excitement. It's a monster movie. It's like it's a King Kong. It's a Godzilla movie. It's just like it's what you expect. They're gonna try and try and weave in some storyline of humans to a movie that is ultimately, dominated by two creatures that can't speak. Or
Right.
can they? Dun, dun, dun.
No, I get it. They I feel they tried to put too much plot in it, and people just wanted to see the two monsters fight
As much as possible.
as much as possible. Like, give
Yeah.
me a good 45-minute nonstop fight. I'm there for it.
But the thing about it is, bro, and we're talking about it now, like we're into it now,
Yep,
right?
yep.
All right, so in that first battle, because everybody, I don't care, who you are, if you're preparing to watch the movie or if you're not, you're gonna put in your 2 cents as to who you think is gonna win. Same thing happened in Freddy versus Jason. You gotta put in your 2 cents to who you think is gonna win. So uh, I went into it saying, and I'll go ahead and say this up front. I went into it saying King Kong has the reach, but there is no reason why Godzilla shouldn't win. Like there's no reason why Godzilla shouldn't win. That's what I said. But that's not a movie. So in the first battle, got King Kong had the reach, but Godzilla was quickly able to show, his dominance. And I feel like if I were making a film where I have one entity that is so highly favored, you have to make it seem a little bit more even in the first battle so that it makes the last battle that much more epic. I feel like, especially with Godzilla holding Kong down underwater as long as he did, I felt like Godzilla was able to show his dominance. The playing field wasn't fair. In that situation, Kong didn't have a chance because, again, Godzilla he can breathe underwater, whatever the fuck he's doing. I mean, does he breathe at all? I have no idea. But Kong breathes, and he didn't stand a chance. I mean, he threw up enough water to kill us both.
Right. You've taken a lot of words out of my mouth. Everybody who has been a part of my channel or knows me knows that I'm also big into wrestling. And in wrestling, if you're building somebody up, the rule of thumb is also build up the person that they're taking on. even if they're going to defeat them, because then they've defeated somebody. And I also have no problem saying I go in, I'm team Kong, but I had no qualms. I'm like, Godzilla's gonna win. It's
Right.
called Godzilla versus Kong, and they built it up. I said, but I want a good fight. You had a few skirmishes there. You didn't have a good, fair fight. They've made both of them look weak. And I say this because the first one, you're on ships surrounded by an ocean.
Right.
That's Godzilla's
Yep.
area. Can breathe
Can't win that
underwater.
one.
Can and like he's chained right before that, like, and all of that. So,
Medicated.
so round one goes to Godzilla. Okay, but still, I felt like not a fair playing field. Round two went to Kong, but we're in this city, and it to me it was like Kong is like, I don't want to bust all these buildings down. I don't think he cared about anybody, but
Right.
he knew that the little girl was down there, and he's like, if
Uh-huh.
I mess things up, so he wins, but he wins just barely, and they're not in an open area. Like if they're on Skull Island or in the Hollow Earth, maybe a different ball game. All right,
Right.
he wins round two. He wins round two barely. All of a sudden, to me, it felt like a minute later. Oh, we're coming back for round three.
Right. That's what I was saying. It was a
What?
short-lived victory.
What? And he goes down, and she's like, he's dying. We gotta jumpstart his heart. So
Yeah.
yeah, and so then they bring in the Mecha Godzilla and all of that. And if I heard one person, I heard 30 online talking about, well, of course Godzilla's going to win. He's got that atomic breath. But I will say there were a couple of times Kong's like, if you can hit me with it,
Right.
like I'll just like, and then he gets his axe, and I feel like, all right, we're finally going to get it. Open area, let's go for it. And they never really did that. They really didn't do it with Mecha Godzilla.
No.
And
Um,
and there was just so much like, if we are dealing with the universe that they've created, in which this universe is a hollow earth, let's do something with it. Let's go there, other than the brief scenes that we got of the hollow earth, other
mhm.
than there's apparently like a train tunnel to, what was it, Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And okay, we've got to have Millie Bobby Brown do something. We'll take that little plot that never really goes anywhere.
Right.
Her dad is literally in the movie for like 2 minutes. He has a walk-on scene in the beginning and a walk-on scene at the end, and I think a cameo in the middle. Yeah. I'm in the
They-
movie. I'm in the movie almost as much as he is. I'm not in the movie. I mean, literally, I think he got 3 more minutes of screen time than I did, and I'm not in the movie.
He got his quote. That's all that's important. He got his quote.
Oh man. But I mean, we look at it, and do you think they're going somewhere from here? Is this it? Because I will say I pulled up some notes. This is from Wikipedia, but it does have the article, like the footnotes there, and they seem to be legit. Um, it has grossed, as of today, 357 million worldwide against a break-even point of 330 million. So it's made money, making it the third highest grossing film of 2021. Of course, there's a big asterisk there because of everything with COVID.
Right.
Was also a streaming hit, becoming the most successful launch item in HBO Max's history. So I feel like the execs, this is just me talking, I feel like the execs saying there's a lot here, and there were a couple of things from previous movies I feel like that they could bring in and keep it going. I
I
don't
agree with you.
yeah,
Um, but
I don't think we don't need a Godzilla versus Kong 2 yet. I think they both need another movie doing their own thing. If you want to team them up later or have them fight again later, that needs to be 2 to 3 movies down the line.
I mean, I think Mecha Godzilla made enough of an impression. You know, if you wanted to do a full Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla movie, I think that you could. You know, just with the way that they've done the Godzilla movies in the sequence, because Godzilla, as we know, is already king of the monsters, and they've already had an alien defeated, which you know, Alien Monster Zero, that was you know an alien that wasn't you know one of the Titans from that have been here or that come from Hollow Earth. So it's like okay, you know, we've done the alien aspect, and then you know, Mecha had was able to make enough of an impression in this film to where I feel like it justifies another one if you want to go that route. Now, Kong being in Hollow Earth because first off, let's go ahead and address it. It's awesome how much sunlight they got down in the middle of the earth, bro. Like that is awesome. They have beautiful sunny days, but where's that sun at?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm, you know, that's a trip. But still, because we've never been there before, this is untapped territory. There's so much that you can do. We know Kong and his ancestors were dominating in Hollow Earth, but what were they dominating? They had to have a reason to have that axe, you know, so there's potential there. There's potential there. And, you know, again, you can have them fight again because at some point in time, they can get to the point to where Earth's resources are so depleted that only one Titan can exist on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and that mutual respect that they have one another, because they looked at each other, they walked off looking at each other like, you know, Vin Diesel and The Rock on one of these Fast and Furious movies. You know, Godzilla gave him a little smirk, and then you know, King Kong just gave him a nod, like, hey, you know, like so they had that humanistic moment right there. You know, but they can always come back. You know, bring some hot heat, just like Fast and Furious 10 coming out in 2023.
Absolutely. And here's what I wrote down. We did not see Alan Jonah. We know that he bought the other skull at the end of King of the Monsters.
Right,
And you know that those were not the skulls that Apex had because he's like that's like the anti-Apex. He would not be working with
right,
Apex. We did not see, now people are saying, well, that was in the 70s. We didn't see James Conrad or Mason Weaver, but they learned about Monarch at the very end of Kong Skull Island. At the same time, we see in those mid-credit scenes the like hieroglyphics that Kong and Godzilla had met before, or you know, their ancestors had met before.
right,
I have a feeling they were sent back to Skull Island and found the Hollow Earth, and that because of the altered gravity and wherever the sunlight source is coming from, that time moves differently there, and they could be like, oh, like 3 years have passed, and it's like, no, it's 50 years later. So I feel like they could be brought up because we did see when they broke through that barrier, gravity's a little bit different
right.
in Skull Island. And so you also they found the Mothra egg in
True, true.
in King of the Monsters. So there's about 20 different areas that you can go. And at the beginning of Godzilla versus Kong, you're seeing like somebody said the brackets of Godzilla
Yeah,
defeating all of these things. Defeating does not mean dead. So
true.
they could be out there somewhere. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this. But when you reached out to me, the idea that I had for this, you asked me what I thought of it, and I still think this way. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch them all again. But knee-jerk response is I like both Skull Island and King of the Monsters better than Godzilla versus Kong.
I can 100% co-sign that. Um, to have the first Godzilla movie with Walter White, aka Bryan Cranston, in there, to have that film and to have it do okay, you know, Godzilla's not the bad guy, you know, he's just handling business, and then to have Skull Island, and then recognize that it was being, it's back in the day, but it's still, connected. Like I didn't know when I first watched the series, the first two of those movies, that they were going to eventually bring them together. So I was definitely impressed with that. It's like, hey, we're bringing them together. But with what you said with regards to the hierarchy of it all, we're talking about four movies. So I'm looking, um, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Skull Island, Godzilla, and then Godzilla versus Kong would be last, only because um, I feel like it could have been done a little bit differently. But it was still a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was still a movie. It still entertained me. I still enjoyed it. I'll watch it again. This isn't the first. I got 30 days. So I'll watch it again before HBO takes it away from me. But it's just of the hierarchy. I mean, there has to be a one and there has to be a four. No, it doesn't mean anything bad about it.
Right. And I think that you can have them team up. You can have them fight again. I think there's just a lot more that you can do with the premise. I mean, I was looking at the Godzilla movies and they're as long as my leg.
Yeah,
Going back, through the years, there's a lot there. This is just the fourth one that has been made since it started, what, 2014,
right.
and only the fifth one that has been made from Hollywood. You know, as much as people like to deny the 1998 Godzilla, it
I don't deny it. Shouts out to Matthew Broderick. Shouts out Matthew Broderick, man. I will say something that would be cool. This is just the fanboy in me trying to tie all these universes together. Um, if somehow they were able to do an Easter egg, it doesn't even have to be a whole scene. But had in Godzilla versus Kong, when they were doing the bracket showing who had defeated what, if they had Godzilla defeating the Cloverfield monster, I thought that would have been real cool, man.
oh yeah, yeah,
Because the Cloverfield monster was Hollywood's attempt to make a monster movie of the same magnitude that Godzilla was. It just never it's just different. It's just different. So now they went more paranormal with it than monster. You know, I still like Cloverfield, but that's not what we're talking about here. I'm just saying, or if you wanted to go, the Pacific Rim route and bring in some kaiju that way. I mean, again, that's another way to bring in another franchise and really get people excited about it because they have their own fan base as well.
that's what I have heard. When I looked it up, they're like, "Where do we go from here?" And that's been a definite possibility. But the ultimate thing, the ultimate problem remains. Somebody's got to take that L. If you keep going, oh, we keep, everybody keeps on tying, or nobody, it's a truce, and they fight something else. People are like, I'm not going to go then. They want to see. Like I said, I was Team Kong, but I'm like, there's a reason.
He had the reach, he had the hands, he bringing work, but Godzilla was just not meant to lose. But like them scales are almost impenetrable, man. And then again, you can't fight around any water at all.
Right.
Yes, he has the atomic breath, but yes, it takes a second to build up. Kong is always going to be, he should always be able to duck it
Mhm.
unless he's weak and Godzilla's got his foot on his chest. Godzilla could have blew his whole face off, ended it. We ain't never talking about Kong again, but he had a heart
Right.
because Mecha was about to give him that L too, man. Mecha gave Godzilla that work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
But
And
yeah, we
why
both.
the entire time I'm looking at Mecha Godzilla, I was like, dang, and he's made of vibranium too.
I was the same way. Actually, I think I was like adamantium.
Adamantium. Unobtainium.
Yeah. And did you know? I may forget because I've only seen it once. I had to look it up. Was it made clear to you who the operator was at first of Mecha Godzilla?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, because they used the kaiju hookup. I mean, not the kaiju, but the Pacific Rim hookup.
Yeah.
Connecting neurally. I recognize it because that we had saw him putting the thing on, and it quickly was shown that he couldn't control it because he did.
No, no. What I was saying is that was the son of the doctor from the other ones, the man who died in King of the Monsters.
That was his son?
That's
No, that
his.
was not obvious.
That was his character. The character's son. Yes.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't know that at all.
Yeah. Hold on. I was. Yeah.
I'm disappointed in that. They should have done better at that. They should have looked.
It is. It is telepathically controlled by Ren Sarazawa, the son of the late Ishiro Sarazawa. Yeah.
They could have done a better job making. So he has this little office space set up inside of the skull of one of those. So they could have put a picture of his dad. Maybe on the corner of the computer screen or something like that. Make it a little bit more obvious. I had no idea, and I would have had so much more respect for him, had I known who he was, because he seemed like I was like, bro, you got too much spunk in your voice to be acting so like to act like this, man. But now, if I would have known who he was, I was like, yeah, you better tell him what's going on. That's what this is me talking to the television because apparently it's going to talk back at some point.
Hey, if it does, we're at that point now. I think where your television can talk back to you.
They
Do,
definitely listen to me.
do you really want to watch this TJ?
No, I don't. You're right.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I really think that there's somewhere, there's a lot of places
Yeah.
that they can go from here. What do you think of the HBO Max model of releasing movies now?
Big fan. Big fan. I'm not anybody important yet. So what I say doesn't mean much. Disney Plus should have did this with Black Widow. We talked about that already. This whole thing, nah, life of going to the movie theater, we talked about it, ain't the same like that no more, man. It's not the same. Um, I think that Warner Brothers and HBO they've done a phenomenal job. The model is freaking great, man, because you get the opportunity to see something new. HBO was already premiering movies every Saturday, but it was something that had already came out in theaters. You know, for the price of $16 a month, I can see something brand new and I don't have to pirate it. I can watch it at home and not feel like I'm doing something illegal. I got a fire stick, got to know computery science. Nah, man, nah. I think it's phenomenal. And the slate that they have left, I'm super excited for. This month, April 23rd, Mortal Kombat. If you are not excited for Mortal Kombat, get excited. Go back and watch the first one and then watch the trailer for this one, and you're gonna get super excited, man. Um, I'm even looking forward. The Conjuring 3. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad because I watched the trailer after speaking with you last time. It's hilarious. There's a beach full of cocks. I want to talk about. I'm like, no, that's hilarious, man. LeBron James and Space Jam 2. Excited for as well, man. And then Newark talking about that prequel for The Sopranos, man. Like, I'm excited for that one as well. So yeah, big shouts to HBO, bro.
This was my schedule. This is what I did a week ago Saturday. I watched Godzilla versus Kong.
Okay.
I watched Suicide Squad. Then I went right into Birds of Prey. That was a really good way to spend a Saturday. That was
That's a
my
nice Saturday.
itinerary. That's what I was looking for. That was
That's
the
a nice
word.
Saturday. Can
And
I ask? Can I ask a question?
yeah,
Did you watch the 4 hour Snyder cut?
I have not, no, because I want to go back and watch from Man of Steel uh
That's right.
up until Justice.
So I want to plant the seed now on your show and
Okay.
make it official. All right, people watching, I want to talk about the Snyder cut with Joey. So if we don't, I need y'all to comment below and make him feel bad about
It's on my list. I made my list. I made my television list last night.
it. Okay.
Shows I've always wanted to watch or I've watched halfway through and have not finished. If it has at least one episode that I have not seen, I'm going back and watching it all. I
That,
started in 2020 and I'm writing it down. Like Arrested Development, I've now seen all the episodes. Now, absolutely, am I ever going back to Arrested Development? Of course.
hell yeah. It's a
But
phenomenal show.
I've got to watch all of these things, and I'm at like 100. I'm at 100 shows because I wanted to watch all the Star Trek shows. Well, that's 7 shows right there,
Yeah. And they still coming out with more.
and they're still coming out with more, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about original Star Trek, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. That's 6 shows before you even get into any of the movies that they made associated with those.
Plus the
Discover.
cartoon.
I've watched the cartoon.
I liked it. I thought it was hilarious.
When I had Paramount Plus, I watched all that because that was on there. I'm like, you can get Star Trek on. I think they're like, give us all your money. Yeah, we'll let you watch it on our thing. I think it's on pbs.com or .org now. They don't care. But I think every streaming platform I have, you can watch any of the Star Treks. But
Yep.
like I wanted to watch all the CSIs because they've got CSI Vegas. Like it's a reboot of the original show coming out with new characters.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But I'm like, I watch those shows all the time, but never from the beginning and never all the shows. So you can get CSI on Hulu, you can get CSI Miami on Hulu. CSI New York is not on any streaming platform.
Oh,
But you can get a deep discount on the digital files
gotcha.
of all the seasons on Vudu.
Okay.
So I may do that. I may like look, they're gonna do a deep discount one day, and I just may all right. And so because there's a couple of times where they interact with each other, and
Gotcha.
it goes through like Lawrence Fishburne's character when he was on there. There's a thing where it goes from all 3 shows, and his character is the through point to all 3 shows.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, it would make sense to be able to watch the other ones. They did that in what was it, Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder.
Right.
So yeah, when I rewatched Scandal to get to that last season, because I hadn't watched the last season yet, it was cool to know, that they did that little blended episode. They did that in New Girl and Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well.
Yep.
Clever.
And that now, what I'm watching the Netflix Marvel shows because I've heard they're bringing them into the Marvel films, and
Told me that.
I had just stopped, and so I've gone back now. I've made it up to Iron Fist, which is a slug to get through, but you got to.
I owe some time to Luke Cage. I will say, as I told you the last time we spoke, uh, I got through Game of Thrones on their, Iron Anniversary 10 years. I'm just getting ready to finish The Wire. I'll probably finish that today. And Luke Cage needs to be my next show. Can I watch Luke Cage without having watched Daredevil or Jessica Jones?
If you're going to watch one, watch Jessica Jones because he makes an appearance in that.
Okay.
There are characters that bleed through all the shows. But if you're like, I'm just a Daredevil guy, you can watch it and be fine. But and if you know, it's been a while since I've seen Jessica Jones, but and I kind of remember what happened to him, but I would watch Jessica Jones.
All right, but
You don't have to watch Daredevil for that. There are some characters that are on both shows, but they talk about, hey, I know a guy. I know a guy in Hell's Kitchen. I know a good lawyer.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
what they're talking about. But
Cool. Cool.
yeah, all of that is on my. So I'm watching that. I'm going back and watching because all 7 seasons of Elementary are on Hulu now. I'm watching that, and
Nice.
I'm watching Monk. I'm rewatching Monk,
Nice.
and I just made it to the 3rd season where he goes to Manhattan to try to hunt down the man who made the bomb who killed his wife. That was originally going to be a crossover with Law and Order SVU.
Are you serious?
Yes, yes.
That's what's up. That would have been tight.
And you can tell that the lead detective in this show is originally supposed to be Ice-T. You can tell that that's who that character is originally supposed to be.
That's all right. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, but I enjoy stuff like that.
Me too.
So I'm just gonna cross it off. I've got a big surgery coming up at some point. They said I've not scheduled it. I'm hoping to hear this week, but after that, I've got recovery time of 2 weeks. Going to do some heavy watching
Heavy watching.
of movies, and we also talked the last time that we talked that I'm going through all the Fox X-Men movies, the X-Men universe, and I've made it up to Days of Future Past. I'm watching
Nice.
the
That was a good one.
I'm watching the Rogue cut because there's a different cut that has more Rogue in it, and it's
You
a
got to
whole
give me access to that one, man. I hadn't seen that one yet.
it is a whole subplot that they cut out for time because they realized if they cut that, the movie with like one minor change, I think Hugh Jackman came in for literally like 30 minutes to set up and everything, and they made it. But yeah, that's what I'm watching now, and it's interesting having not seen it before because I had gotten to the point where okay, I'm out of stuff I've seen before, other
Right.
other than the first Deadpool. I have seen that, but everything beyond this I have not had not seen. So
So
I'm
you haven't seen Apocalypse yet,
I
and
have I have not.
and the Phoenix. You hadn't seen that either.
No.
Oh man, this is going to be exciting for you. All right.
Yeah. So it goes from this, then Deadpool, Apocalypse, Logan, Dark Phoenix, New Mutants. So I've got 6.
Oh, and you haven't seen Logan either.
No.
I've got 2 cuts of Logan. I've got the Logan. I've got the theatrical version, and they made a noir version,
Yeah.
in black and white, on kind of like Sin City.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, yeah, oh yeah, you got some
I got
viewing
some stuff
pleasures.
ahead of me. Yeah.
That's all right. I'm kind of envious of you right, man, because to have not seen that stuff and I know what you're in for. I mean, there's some pretty good cinema in your future.
2 Christmases ago, my sister and brother-in-law gave me the I think it's called the Innovati, the
Mm-hmm.
100 movies poster,
Gotcha.
and I'm watching all of the movies on there, and they've got the first Guardian of the Galaxy is on there. The first Avengers is on there. Logan is on there. Yeah, so
That's what's up, my guy. New Mutants is the last one.
yeah.
And you can Arya Stark's in there. Oh Maisie. Oh Maisie.
uh, but yeah, Game of Thrones is on there, is on my thing as well. I've never gotten past halfway through season 2. Something's always come up. So
So hold up. Is my bestie telling me that he hasn't gotten past the second season of Game of Thrones?
I've gotten halfway through the second season. I've seen the first season like 3 times. I've never. It's on the list. It's on the list.
You and I have never discussed Game of Thrones before.
I am loosely aware of everything that happens. Like I know about the Red Wedding, and I know, I yeah, but That's not the same. That's like somebody telling you what a car is, and they can
Right.
describe it and show you pictures of it. Still not the
But that's
same as driving it. Yeah.
3 times, bro. I have watched that thing 3 times, man.
So, but yeah, no, on my list.
All right.
On my
When you
list.
when you get into it, man, let me know. Cause again, I don't mind picking your brain on it, bro. I want to see how you feel about it.
Well, we may do one more. May do another one of these on that. But
Nice.
and I feel like the next one that we need to do, the next YouTube video we need to do, will be at least 3 weeks from now, because that'll be after Falcon and the Winter Soldier has finished. I can't believe we only have 2 episodes left.
No post credit scenes.
Oh, really? Well, not so far. Is there not?
Not so far. That's what I'm saying. For WandaVision, we got post credit scenes on the last 3 episodes.
Right.
So I was hoping we'd get something like that here, but no, none of that.
But then again, they had more episodes. This is only 6.
But they were only 30-minute episodes, though, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they progressively got longer as the thing,
Yeah, you right.
as
You
it
right.
as it as it progressed. But
They
I
started off like sitcoms, and by the time that they were at the end, they got us was an hour and 20 on
something
that
like
last
that.
one, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I'm excited for that. Loki. No, May is going to be a long month. Loki doesn't come out until June.
To June.
Then they're dropping the What If series all at once, is what I've heard.
So excited for that one, bro. So excited for that one. The zombie episode I'm excited for. I'm excited for, what if what if Yandu had taken T'Challa instead of Star Lord? Like, yeah, I'm excited. Not even I ain't even mentioned, Peggy Carter taking the super serum, because that's one of them as well. Yeah, man. I look, that What If series is gonna be bonkers, and I'm for it. And I know this is not what we planned on talking about. I apologize for helping it going off the rails like this.
That's all right. It'll give everyone an opportunity to see what may be coming up. So,
Get excited, folks.
anything you want to plug before we go?
Ooh, plug time. All right. So Joey calls me Big TJ because that's what I've always been. But I also go by Tokyo Jameson. So if you would like to, go and listen to episodes of the Tokyo Smoke Show. It is and will always be available, even though I am no longer dropping a steady flow of new. I've got some other irons in the fire, so you may be able to hear my voice elsewhere. But for right now, for the meantime and the in between time, if you want to hear my stinking ass, it's with that man right there, Joe Harris. So shouts to you, bud. Thanks for having me on, man, as always.
Absolutely. Everyone, thanks for listening. Remember to like and subscribe. Peace.
Hey.